owner of RNC Inspectors, a home inspection company. I also have my real estate license. I've been doing real estate I've had my license for 22 years. And then my home inspector license in November, it'll be 8 years.
Nice. Awesome. What is Aria's mission?
Aria's mission, I don't remember verbatim, but it is along the lines of promoting sustainable home ownership and affordable housing within the Asian American community.
Nice. Have you attended national events, current and current local events, and will you travel to future national events?
Look at my track record. I think ever since I joined in 2018, I think the only one I didn't attend was that year in Vegas, because I joined Aria from Henry. Henry was urging me to join, and then it was a month before the convention, and I was full blast busy, so I couldn't make it that year. But after that, starting in January, I attended leadership. I think it was back then, it wasn't called leadership. January was a luxury summit, pretty much everything after that, except for the only national event I missed was, I think, the Global Summit and the Aria Policy Day 2 years ago, where I had a scheduled conflict. Basically, pretty much everything since 2018.
Nice. Yep, I've seen you there. How do you help with fundraising this year on both a gala and partnership for 25? I know you have, what are some of your future kind of expectations or things that you can help with?
I see. Past couple of years after getting into a leadership role as treasurer, I've been shown more, I guess, what Israel was talking about, more opportunities to sit down with sponsors, tell them about the ARIA mission statement, tell them how we can offer more value to them through their sponsorships. And I guess in turn, in this year, surprisingly, I brought in a few sponsors of my own. Lofty Homes, one of them. Mm-hmm. The insurance agency, they were for a little bit. Now I'm trying to find another insurance agency that wants to partner with Aria. As a realtor, home inspector, I meet a lot of people in the business, and there's always opportunity. And I'm not shy to ask people to come to our events, see what we do, and consider being a sponsor for next year.
Awesome. And lastly, how can you help grow our local Aria Boston organization? What are some of you?
That's a good question. Kind of loaded question. So I've been attending a lot of the national training on leadership, like the most recent one we had in San Diego. I felt like a lot of our events are basically networking events. There's not enough engagement. There's not enough follow-up. So what I've learned from some of the more established chapters, I've been talking to some of the people from Chicago, for example, how do they run their events well? How do you get new sponsors? Because they are bigger than us right now. So I wanted to learn from them. How do you get? I look at their events on Eventbrite. There's like 50 sponsors on the Eventbrite. Like I just asked them, like, how do you get so many people? How do you keep them coming back year after year? And one thing that really stuck with me, one of their suggestions is, hey, when you're holding an event, you have to coach your people. Hey, this is going to be an event of 50 people. Let's have at least 5 volunteers there. And you have to coach your volunteers. Like, hey, this is what you're doing here. Helping sign people in, introduce them to the sponsors, or the team of sponsors that's there. Have them start some organic conversations, and don't let the sponsors sit around doing nothing. If you see that they're sitting down, not talking to anyone, bring someone over and then introduce them. So that's something I want to implement going forward, to coach our events team to hold better events that way. Right now it's not bad, but let's make it better.
Awesome. Love it. Next set of questions. We're going to have Israel ask the next set. You're on, Israel.
Hi, Richie. It's good to see you.
Hey, Israel. See you too.
Thank you for being here. So let's start off with this one.
How does Aria help me?
How has it assisted you or helped you out?
Wow, I should be more prepared for this question since I heard 5 people answer this already. But so I guess from where I'm standing, we're all small business owners in some sense. Realtors, lenders, we're all promoting our own business, trying to hold our own networking events. I think Aria has really helped me greatly in that aspect in the past. Going forward, as our small organization grows, I'm working with a small team of realtors or a small team of home inspectors now. It's important, just like what Michelle was saying earlier, I think it's really important that we basically trial and error at this point. No one's a born leader, and we're learning. So right now, I think as my business organization is growing, I want to basically learn some leadership skills from some of the past leaders here at ARIA and try to apply them both to my own business and to the organization.
That's awesome. That actually answered my next question, which was what you
Oh.
want to get. So you're ahead of it. So where do you see yourself in the organization in the future? Like down the line, once your VP position is finished and you've served your duty, where do you see yourself growing from there?
So the past few years in ARIA, as I got more and more involved with not just the local planning, I feel like I've starting to develop a passion for policy. Just what we do in Washington, D.C., 45 chapters coming together, and we are each making appointments with our congressmen, our senators, our House reps. And even this past policy day, when we were there, some of the senators, their aides, they didn't even know about the alien land laws that's coming up. They didn't even know about appraisal equity issues. So we basically brought it on their radar. So now they are aware of it, and hopefully they'll take some action to do it. So that's why I have this year, and in addition to putting in my application for VP for the Boston ARIA chapter, I've also submitted an application with the National Policy Committee. So I want to stay on and remain involved in that aspect.
That's a wonderful answer. I like it. So I've already seen this. My next question, I've already seen this in actual action, but could you give us an example of how you led by example, where you've actually implemented your own teachings and provided guidance to those following? And like I said, I've already seen this in person, but for the record, could you state something?
All right. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. I guess the thing I'm best at in ARIA, that I'm probably best known for, is events planning. Because before my role as the treasurer, I was the head of the events planning committee. Also, I have a passion for that. I love throwing parties, and then just being able to see the other end of it, having a more organized Eventbrite where we have a list of attendees that we can give to the sponsors, and then the budgeting end of it. I thought little of the budgeting end of it from an organization standpoint. So now I try to help everyone plan events whenever they have questions. I'm always there to help, especially for events planning, because I am good at it.
You've helped me a bunch, that's for sure. Let's see. I know that the events planning is definitely a strong trait of yours. Do you have any other traits or skills that you could say are a very strong suit and that would benefit ARIA?
Strongest one I can think of right now is I have good work ethic. I actually been doing audits with my office manager, taking a look at basically the number of, for example, my home inspection business. In the last 8 years that we have reported data, I've only had to cancel 3 inspections on my end in the last 8 years. So I think if I make a commitment that I will be there, I will be there, unless something happens, something where I physically can't be there. So 3 times in the last 8 years, I've had to cancel appointments.
That's extremely impressive. It's very, very
Thank you.
I don't believe I have any other questions outside of maybe what you like to do for fun outside of work.
I like to eat. I like to travel. That's why I'm fat.
All right, that sounds good. I think that's all the questions that I have. Dick, would you like to chime in?
I want to ask a question to Richie.
Yes, Martine, please.
Hi, Richie. And thank you as always for being so supportive in with the organization. Aware that by applying to the vice president position, it's basically implied that you're going to be the incoming president. Is that your goal, to become the incoming president after Conan's tenure?
I guess naturally I am expected to step into that position. I am a little bit nervous about that. And I put it off for so long because I didn't want to be that person in charge. I've always been more comfortable in a supportive role. So hopefully in the next 2 years, learning from Conan, learning from all our past presidents, hopefully I will be more prepared. But the truth is no one's ever going to be fully prepared. There's always going to be obligations. So I can only promise I will do my best. And if I don't think I'm ready, I'll let everyone know so you guys can find a better fit.
No, thank you very much. Great answer, Richie. Now, just supposing that you are going to be the incoming president, what will be your 3 main points of action that you would implement in the first 6 months of your tenure as a president of Area Boston?
First 6 months, that's very specific. I haven't thought about it. I guess in general, even when I first ran for the e-board 2 years ago, I did have 3 things on my list that I wanted to do that we were on the way to doing, and we haven't quite seen any real results for it yet. So number one was, how are we going to give back more to the community? Ultimately, I see it as 2 prongs right now. There is one where we talked about our national mission statement is to promote sustainable home ownership and fair housing for Asian Americans. And I think one of the best ways for us to give back to the community is to throw some great housing fairs, a spring market, and then one more towards the end of the year. I would like to see us do them twice a year, because I remember there was one year we did it in the Holiday Inn in Somerville that was very successful. We did one in East Boston this past year that was also very successful. And I just want to make sure, if you look at our schedule events, it's all networking and with real estate professionals. What are we doing for the community directly? So that would be one of my priorities. The second one would be Best of Aria. I would love to see us win Best of Aria again. I guess after we joined, we did win it once, and then afterwards we basically, I remember when Ari Got Talent, we got on first, the music was messed up. I guess the first place award was stolen from us, and then number 3 was to grow back our memberships to basically 500. I think that was the number I put down there 2 years ago. Coming out of COVID, right now I think we've been on track to hold more events. That's why one of the things I want to do was to hold better events, get more sponsors involved. Sponsors automatically, once they become a sponsor, they have 5-10 memberships, bring in all their people, have them give away their memberships to, or help them give away their memberships. And then also for members, a lot of the people who attend ARIA that I've seen in the past few years are younger professionals just getting into the business, and we'll introduce them. But, hey, have you talked to a lender? Have you talked to an attorney? Have you talked to an insurance agent? We have all these people in here. Let's get your team together in place, so the next time you have a real estate sale, you have everyone available right there. I think I hope that's going to bring a lot more value to members, and they will see the value in becoming an REM member, the network that we have, and they remain members and help promote us. So that's my list of 3.
Thank you very much, Richie. You will be a great president.